Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome once again to the Ridiculously Lame Wrestling Show. My name is Tony Squares this time. I am also joined by Mr. Robert Lentini. Today we're talking about another pay-per-view for WWE right around the corner, the Bash at Berlin. We're also covering All In and reviewing what happened there and talking about a really fun Dynamite after the fact. Both AEW and WWE, a lot of things cooking, and never you fear, there's another pay-per-view next week that we get to preview for AEW.
Unbelievable.
I don't understand, still don't understand how they run this many pay-per-views this quickly in AEW, but we have a premium live event sandwiched in between. It's quite a week of wrestling, Bob. Where do you want to start today?
I think we should start with All In because it's the most important event of AEW's year. It's their WrestleMania. And I think we should start there and just get right into it. I'm ready.
Let's do it.
You ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
We're going to attack this. I mean, we're going to be quick with the review. We know we're a couple of days after the pay-per-view. Likely know most of the results that happen. But we are going to give a Meltzer review, a Meltzer star rating for each of these matches here. And Bob and I tend to differ on this. 9 matches on the card. We're not going to talk about the pre-show. And I will say a lot of pivotal changes happened on this show that were amplified on the following Dynamite. But let's start with the show, Bob. What was the first match at All In the sparsely filled Wembley Stadium?
The London ladder match for the trios titles, I believe it was, or with the discount Blackpool Combat Club with Pac and Wheeler Yuta. This match was fine. There was a good way to kick off the show. Pac and BCC, they won. They're the champions or whatever. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 Meltzers. Most of that was mainly because it was a ladder match with a couple cool spots. Christian Cage in this match flipping out at Luchasaurus or Kill Switch because he didn't help him with the titles. That was great, but other than that, pretty forgettable match, but decent opener. 3.5 out of 5 for me.
I gave it a 2.5 because nothing special happened in this match. It was entertaining, but it's a ladder match. I'm not going to give you extra stars just because it's a ladder. In fact, you need to do more to have me be impressed by a ladder match.
Yeah.
2.5 stars for me. The thing that pissed me off the most about this is not about the people winning. I'm fine with Pac and Blackpool Combat Club winning. Weird situation. They were all around. There's supposed to be Penta and Phoenix winning.
Yeah.
AEW, who knows what's going on. But what made me, the oddest thing I should say in this match is afterwards you have the champions raising up the titles. Everyone's excited. Wheeler Yuta's climbing up the ropes, yelling out to the crowd. People are cheering. And the Christian and Kill Switch like tete-a-tete happens directly in the center of the ring at that. So we're forced to see it. Obviously, they want us to see it, previewing something happens that later in the night. But it just kind of, the blocking was off, man. And I think the timing was off too. I think we could have stretched it out a little bit. We'll talk about stretching it out later on in this card. But I think we could have just had the moment for Blackpool Combat Club to win, wait a beat, and the moment for Christian and Kill Switch to have their little back and forth, maybe even backstage with each other. But that was just me. 2.5 stars. Next match on the card.
Okay, we got the AEW Women's Championship. Toni Storm defended her title against Mariah May. I love this match. What I want to talk about this real quick is the aesthetic in this match. The overhead angles they had during the intros, I loved. Mariah May picked up the win. She's going to be a huge star, I believe. And overall, I gave this a 4 out of 5. 4 Meltzers out of 5. This was one of my favorite matches of the night.
Yeah, this was 4.5 for me. This was arguably my favorite match of the night. If it wasn't for the main event, it was my favorite match of the night. I thought the story that these two women told was spectacular. And Mariah May, like slapping her mother, all the little things really, really worked in this match. And there were some awkward, clumsy moments. Toni Storm's kind of a cartoon character, sure. I thought these two really worked well together. I loved the shots of what's-her-face in the booth there, like watching on. Like everything worked in this match for me. I'm into it. I'm into the title change. I'm into Toni Storm afterwards walking off into the London night, not knowing where she's going.
That was great.
I wish AEW showed more of that shit on actual TV. And it wasn't just behind the scenes stuff. They have a lot of fun behind the scenes that are professionally shot. Like they're not shot on someone's phone. Like they're meant to be seen by AEW. Put them on TV. Like put those moments in the pay-per-view, in the in-betweens, the popcorn break moments. They would work. They would sell. I'm talking too long on this. 4.5 stars for me. Next match on the card. This was a bad one.
Honestly, a bit of.
I got the order wrong. Then keep going.
No, I actually liked the Hook versus Chris Jericho.
You did.
Yes, maybe this is where we're going to be disagree because I actually enjoyed this match for how stupid it was with the cricket ball spot. I was laughing my ass off. Just does Hook know any moves besides a fucking suplex? Does he
No,
know how to do anything? But
he
I
doesn't know how
enjoyed
to
this
throw a
little.
ball. He doesn't know how to actually throw a ball.
Yeah, I
I
wrote
don't
down.
understand. He could not swing and hit a ball. It made no sense.
This
Sorry.
might be like a so bad it's good situation for me that I was just cracking up laughing because Big Bill getting a huge pop, Hook at the biggest eye patch I've ever seen during this match too. I laughed audibly when it's just fucking ridiculous. But yeah, I gave
And
it
then
three
he
out of
takes it
five.
up slowly, and he's like,
Yeah.
"I can
Well, he can.
see," to the three people that care. Yeah.
Well, and I wrote down, "Oh my god, he can see." Wow, they've never done that before with an eye patch ever. Wow, that was very sarcastic in my notes, but yeah, just I like Big Bill with it was a
I love
goofy
Big
ass
Bill.
match and I enjoyed it for what it was. I don't know how I enjoyed it, just because I just hate watched it and wound up laughing. I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 melts. It's probably a 1 out
3!
of 5. It's probably a 1 out of 5, but I enjoyed it because I'm gonna go back and watch this match in like a year. How stupid it was, because I think Hook's gonna be like out of AEW, and I just want to relive his final feuds in AEW. It's just a goofy ass train wreck of a match that I
Jericho
enjoyed.
dropped the cricket balls, and because they're balls, they all rolled out of the ring. So when they did the backdrop onto the cricket balls, he landed on nothing. He missed the
Yeah,
cricket balls because there was none there. I
you know
I
what? You're right.
gave
You're right.
this.
I'm gonna change it to 2. I'm
No, you
changing
gave
it
it a
to 2.
3.
Yeah.
You
All
gave it
right,
a
fine.
3.
I'll live with that terrible rating.
I'm giving it one Meltzer, but it's the Meltzer I would rather see wrestle for the 10 minutes it took for this match to wrestle. That's the one Meltzer. It's not a real 1 out of 5. It's one Meltzer actually wrestling. I'd rather watch that. Next
That'd be
match.
great. Well, it's the AEW Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks versus FTR versus the Acclaimed.
I was really
I don't.
disappointed by this match, Bob.
Yeah, I gave this 2.5 out of 5 Meltzers.
Yeah.
I was expecting way more. FTR and the Young Bucks are theoretically two of the best teams in
Yeah.
the entire in wrestling. I thought the Young Bucks kind of were just going through the motions in this match. I don't know
That's what
what
it
was
felt like.
going on. Yeah, it felt like a Dynamite match. I was like, this is in front of
Bingo.
50,000 people here. So that's why I'm going to give it 2.5 out of 5 Meltzers. The Hook versus Jericho match outscores the AEW Tag Team Triple Threat match in my ratings.
I'm giving even less. I'm giving 1. Like
Oh, wow.
this did not belong in the card, Bob. This did not
I
belong. This is the biggest show of the year. If you want to say, real life here, these two are partially responsible for running the company. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest show of the year, and that's the match we're getting. And I don't care about result. I'm not here to fantasy book. I understand they're making decisions. I don't have to agree with who wins and who does what or what the match is. Put on a fucking show. Like, this was
Yeah.
a genuine disappointment of a match, and FTR and the Acclaimed actually were the best team in the match. Like, they did the most that I enjoyed in this match. I thought it was a truly a waste of time from 4 of the best professional wrestlers on the AEW roster, and it was genuinely a disappointment. It was a 1 Meltzer for me.
Wow. And
Yeah.
also the Grizzled Young Vets debuted or whatever after this match. I'm already out on them. They'll
No,
be fighting
that was blown too, man. Now
Yeah,
again, the
that sucks.
timing of that and the blocking of that, the way the music hit, and then afterwards, nobody cared, nobody popped because it was just
They
done incorrect. Like, it was the timing of it, the scheduling of it wasn't right.
Yeah, I will say I agree with you there, and I will say the Acclaimed appear to be incredibly over in the UK for some reason. During their entrance, it was all "Scissor Me Daddy." Everybody was singing and dancing. Maybe they should just permanently have the Acclaimed just wrestle in the UK, because when they come back to the States, it's not like that at all. And one other moment here. Well, I don't know. The CM Punk chants during the match were whatever. Nick Jackson flipping out was funny,
That's always
and they
going to
all
happen.
can't.
Yeah.
The camera also missed Nick Jackson pulling the referee out of the end, like out of the ring during a pinfall. So I had no idea what was going on until they replayed it. They got to get better at that stuff. It's like that. That's just standard shit. Yeah.
Continually.
But that's that match. I guess we're moving on. Are we ready to move on to the next one?
Please.
All right. The Casino Gauntlet match, which me and you both butchered in the preview. Go ahead.
Can I get a TV timeout here? 20-second TV timeout. I
Yeah.
apologize to the fans who watch this show. I was completely incorrect in the formation of this match. Apparently, they retired the original Casino Battle Royale gimmick, and I thought that was the continual gimmick. And this bullshit of one person comes out it wasn't even every minute, because Roderick Strong came out, and then 2 seconds later, another dude came out right behind him. Great way to showcase Roderick Strong's high spot there. But this was the match where everyone comes out, and as soon as there's a pinfall, there's a winner. I think that's a great Dynamite gimmick. I don't think that's a great pay-per-view gimmick. However, I thought this, if I had to go through best matches of the night, this isn't one of my best matches. This is my most surprising match. I really, really enjoyed this. The finish, again, I don't agree with who won. You don't have to make me agree with it for me to like the match, though. I'm giving this 4 Meltzers, dude. I thought the way they staggered the entrances, how they had people come out what they did when they came out, Ricochet's entrance was awesome, and I thought it was fantastic. I really did. I really enjoyed this whole entire match.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also gave it 4 out of 5 Meltzers. Couple of notes here. I had Tony Schiavone during the match said they don't know how long the intervals are between each entrance. That's just, I don't understand that logic. He was just in the middle of a commentary. He's like, I don't know how long. It's like, what? We're supposed to know that.
That was right after the Roderick Strong, and then somebody right behind him. That was somebody messed up. Somebody pressed go too early.
Yeah, Nigel got a huge pop here. This is the match. Nigel McGuinness. Yeah, there's a lot of very cool moments. If you're going to do a match like this, you have to have like big stars every time. You can't have Wheeler Yuta coming out every 2 minutes for it. But it worked for me, and the finish shocked the hell out of me. I really liked it, just because I was like, this was my argument with you last week. It was like, well, what if you're the 21st entrant? You just got to hope that there's no pinfall, and that's what happened. It just completely shocked me, and I enjoyed it. So Christian Cage won this, right? Because of Luchasaurus, and we're going to get Christian Cage versus Bryan Danielson or whoever won. We'll get to it. I just spoiled it. Oh, well, it happened a few days ago. We're going to get that. That could be a great storyline, because Bryan Danielson's father, Christian Cage.
Enough. Yeah. What I will say is I really thought that we were going to finally get the Luchasaurus comeback of the year here. And I am a little disappointed that didn't happen, because I think we've drawn out that story quite long enough here. I loved Christian winning this, though, because Christian, he got sat on, essentially. He was made the bitch earlier on in the show. And then when his music came on during this, you were like, oh, no. Like, I laughed. I genuinely laughed when his music came out. I'm like, perfect. Like, it's perfect that this guy's trying immediately to get back a championship because he lost the first one. Like, great for his character. And then for him to actually win because he, stacked the odds in his favor. That was really, really nice. Unexpected, but really nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Cage versus Danielson. They could do some good stuff with that storyline. Then we get to the next match here. I thought this is the match of the night, in my opinion. International Championship, American Championship, whatever you want to call it. Will Ospreay versus MJF. MJF was the reigning champion heading into this match. I loved his entrance, the streamers being down like in the ring during the match. I loved it. I wrote down in this match, Bryce Remsburg is the worst referee of all time. I don't know why. I just wrote that down. But I thought this match was great, and the cameraman getting taken out with the hidden blade was funny. And I gave it 4.5. Yeah, I gave it 4.5 out of 5 Meltzers. This is my match of the night. Ospreay winning was okay. Go ahead.
I gave it 4. It wasn't my match of the night. I like Tony Storm, Mariah May better. I like the main event better. And it was because mostly there was just some awkwardness in this when it came to the blocking and production of it. Not on the wrestlers, but mostly on Bryce Remsburg. And him getting knocked out and knocking himself. Everything looked awkward during this match. And but there was some really, really... Obviously, the story they told was great. The match they put on was great. There were moments that were A+ material. Just overall, felt a touch clunky and a touch long. Does that make sense? It just felt a little bit long.
Yeah, there was the middle kind of dragged a little bit. Daniel Garcia at the end showing up was great. I thought it was great, but I can understand why you would. There was a lull for a little bit, and here's one random criticism I have about AEW and stuff like this that probably 2 people in the world noticed besides me. MJF does a Panama Sunrise during this match, like a tribute to Adam Cole. The next match, Britt Baker does the same fucking thing. That stuff drives me up a wall, and we're going to talk about that Britt Baker versus Monet match next. Let's just move on, because there's not much. What else can you say about MJF versus Ospreay? It delivered. It was great. There's nothing else to say. It was a
And
great
hey,
match.
I will say this, because Will Ospreay did this for Swerve. Good on MJF. Okay,
Yeah,
like MJF can survive a loss here. Not everyone needs
absolutely.
to win all the time to be on top, because if you look at what happened to MJF on the next Dynamite, he's still as important as he was entering
Exactly.
Wembley Stadium that evening. So good on
Ospreay couldn't
MJF.
lose this match. Ospreay couldn't have lost this match. They need to keep building him up. The right man
Yeah.
won. Moving on though to the worst match of the night, without a doubt, to me, worse than Hook versus Jericho, worse than anything, was Britt Baker versus Mercedes Moné, because we did an AEW draft,
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, and
Yeah.
I picked Britt Baker for Team AEW because she's been there since the beginning, and her backstage issues aside, whatever the hell that is, like, she's great on the microphone and she can wrestle, but I don't know what the hell happened here. The break. I like, there was one tribute spot with Eddie Guerrero with Camille, like they did, like Britt Baker pretended to get hit with the
That was
belt
good.
and threw
Yep.
it to Camille. That was it. That was the only the part of the match I enjoyed. I thought it was a drag. I thought Britt Baker was like sandbagging Sasha Banks during the Three Amigos suplexes. Britt Baker, it looked like Britt Baker weighed 400 pounds during those suplexes, like so slow and sluggish. I don't know what the hell happened here. I don't know if it was they don't like each other. I hope that's not it, because this should have been a good match. This should have been an easy, just a 3.5 4-star match. This should not have been a 1.5, which is what I gave it. 1.5 out of 5.
There were matches on this card, like the Hook Jericho match, that I knew I wasn't going to like. I thought this match was going to be something special,
Yeah.
because I truly trust both of these wrestlers to put on something special. And man, it was so disappointing. You're absolutely right. I gave it half a Meltzer, like not even a full. I gave it his lower half, and that was that was a trashy match. That was a really bad match, and I don't know, man. I hope it changes, because Mercedes Moné needs to be in something better. What's her feud so far that you've been like, oh yeah, Mercedes Moné, she fought so and so. That was a great feud. She hasn't had it yet. I thought this could have been it. So I don't
I
know, man.
enjoyed her feud with Willow Nightingale a hell of a lot more than her feud with Britt Baker.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
didn't enjoy her feud with Willow Nightingale that much. I've been pretty
yeah.
disappointed with Mercedes Moné since she arrived. And that's not all her fault, but apparently they have a writing team writing her promos and she gets all this say backstage. So I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on either.
But that match sucked. And I hope whatever was the issues between them.
You know what match didn't suck? The next match.
Yeah, okay, we'll move on here. Coffin match, Darby Allin versus Jack Perry.
Excellent.
I see. I disagree. I did enjoy it, but the reports after that time got cut from this match. I think you sent me that, or it's like it could have been better. I was expecting, because you sent me a like 10 out of 10. I was like, all right, because I had to watch
I
it a
don't think
couple
I
hours
said
later.
10 out of 10.
I'll screenshot it and put it up. I'm just kidding.
Darby Allin came out during this match, and my ears kind of perked up, because not only did Darby Allin come out and he had thumbtacks glued on his face, looked like an absolute madman, but he came out and started MFing the camera and giving middle fingers to the camera before he skateboarded quickly to the ring. Darby, I mean, we're not talking about face heel thing. Darby's never done that. Okay. Darby, as crazy as he has never flipped somebody off or gone F you. That's not his character. That's not his persona. So when he came out, I immediately went, why? Who? What? I thought CM Punk. Like, I thought, what the hell is happening again? Did Jack Perry start fighting someone backstage? Like, what is going on?
God.
Because Darby Allin was clearly out of character entering the match. And then we hear later that they took minutes off of this match because other matches went long. And there were a couple of matches. There were a couple of blocking situations where things seemed rushed. And I don't know why we have to start and stop at a certain time. I know there's rules, there's regulations that AEW has to listen to when they're at certain stadiums, but Jesus Christ, man, either take a match off the card, take Hook Jericho up, put it on the pre-show. You cannot be like, when you sandwich and expand a bunch of these matches, it ruins the flow of the show and makes a lot of really premium moments a little bit jangled. Okay. And this is also a professional wrestler thing. If you know you got 30 minutes on the card and you go 40, you're fucking everyone else over. And I don't know who did it. I don't know who went long or went short or went whatever. Maybe it is a production thing. Someone can't do math counting minutes into hours, but it affected this coffin match. However, I gave this coffin match a solid 4 stars because I thought it was, from the get-go, awesome. And all the spots they built to were awesome. The ending was kind of a little bit lame because Darby didn't get up after he gets thrown around for 5 solid minutes of Jack Perry dragging him around and murdering the man. And then Sting's entrance, welcome back, my guy, retired, but came back to protect Darby. I thought all of that was great. So I gave it 4 stars.
What I have written down is 3 out of 5 melters for the match, add an extra 0.5 for Sting. So 3.5 out of 5 for me. I thought this match, if it had 10 extra minutes, could have been the match of the night. I thought it just felt a little out of nowhere. The real glass spot pissed me off, but whatever, it is what it is. I know what they're doing, but we'll talk about that when we talk about Dynamite, because I thought Jack Perry's promo tonight was great, and is what I've been looking for.
I will also say, I thought these two really worked well together. And when I was watching this match, I kept thinking, like, I mean, Darby's a little bit older, but these two are relatively young. They seem like they're going to be in AEW forever. I don't see either of these guys as a WWE guy, and this could be kind of that rivalry that goes on for a decade, hit or miss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I do think these two, you got to have a good dance partner. I think these two make good dance partners.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Perry, I'm not trying to insult him here. He's a smaller man, and Darby Allin is too. So it doesn't nobody looks out of place, and it looks great. Like, it looks athletic, like it looks like they should be fighting each other. And I agree. They're two originals. No way Jack Perry's ever going to WWE now. And we know Darby Allin isn't either. So Darby Allin
couldn't get on the insurance at TKO.
No, Jesus Christ, no. They would ruin Darby Allin if he was in WWE. Same with Jack Perry. He wouldn't even get a chance in WWE. So he has to stay there. But yeah, I love Darby Allin's head popping out of the body bag during this match too. Like, there's just a couple funny, goofy spots in this that I enjoyed. But overall,
I thought they were going to genuinely set him on fire. Like, I thought there was a trapdoor underneath and he was going to drop down and they were going to do that kind of a spot. But Sting coming back surprised me.
But it was relatively tame for what I was expecting. I thought Darby Allin was going to fall off the top of Wembley Stadium into a coffin, but that didn't happen either.
That table bump with his hands and legs tied was not. That was a dangerous bump.
It's insane. He's insane. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he's alive. He's been hit by a car this year too. Like, we forget about that. He got hit by a bus. Like, that's why he couldn't climb Mount Everest. That was this year too. Anyways, the AEW Championship match, main event. Swerve Strickland defended against Bryan Danielson. I also gave this match 4.5 out of 5 Meltzers. So I had a couple 4.5s. I thought the big matches on this card delivered. Yeah. And this match was everything I wanted it to be, because I believed wasn't sure if Danielson was going to win. So that's a great storytelling by AEW to get me to believe that this was Bryan Danielson's last match. And we'll talk about his promo in a bit tonight. Just really solid match. Swerve Strickland didn't lose his star power at all. He's signed with AEW through 2028 now. So they got another stalwart, if you will, another stud in Swerve to stick around. And Danielson had to win this match. And the shots of Brie Bella and Birdie in the crowd, great during the match, her almost crying and then her smiling. It made no sense, but great match. The right man won.
Yeah. I will
Danielson
say
kicking out of, go ahead.
Swerve signing his contract was another thing on the pre-show that could have been on the main show, at least to start off the show, to give us the bookend thing. Again, I'm not going to get into storytelling.
Same with Jamie Hayter's return. That could have been on the main show.
But this match to me was perfect. It really was. I give it 5 Meltzers. I think this was something special. This is something I'm going to remember. And I thought Bryan Danielson, man, guy knows how to tell a story, dude. When he's taking those kicks and he's saying "I love you" in between each one and powering up through that, man, I was crying. I was shedding a tear. And again, because I did not know if this was his last match. They sold me, okay? And I if he's losing this in front of his family and that's the way he goes out on his shield, then by golly, I was riding with him. And then when he won, and also I think I sent you that text, like, Swerve is sending these kids into a decade of therapy, because it was, imagine if that's your dad going through that. It's insane. And it was a spectacular match and a spectacle in itself. And it made Swerve look like the final boss. The way he was kicking out of stuff, though, I mean, people hate when you kick out of finishers so easily and you hulk up through things, man. I thought every bit of this worked. I loved it.
Yeah.
The right man won. A special way to end Dynamite, even though Pac's in there too, raising his hands, looking around like, what's going on? Whatever. I'm fine with it. Welcome into the group, Pac. I loved it. I love this match.
I
And
also liked.
overall,
Go
what
ahead.
do you got for this show? All in, how many Meltzers?
I'd probably just settle on. I'll give it 4 out of 5. It's probably too high. It's probably a 3.5 out of 5, but
I
four.
th- I, I,
I
I
thought it
think
delivered.
again the big things buoyed it. The big things held
Right.
it up. So I think 3.75 for me. I
All
think there
right.
were three really special matches on this card,
Yeah.
and then
I
there
liked.
was a handful of not so special.
Yeah, I like Jay. I like Terrence. I know Jim Ross hasn't had his best time in AEW as of late. I thought he was solid in the main event too. I liked hearing
Yeah,
him.
you bring
Yeah,
him
it
out for
added a little
one match at a
gravity.
pay
Yeah,
per view. Perfect,
yeah. It added
perfect.
a little, added some more gravity to it. Hearing it, I love Jr. He's had a
Yeah,
tough time recently, but I thought he did great in this match. Yeah, and most importantly, the big matches, like you said, delivered, and nobody's talking about how bad the show was. People are excited about AEW. That's all they needed. That's all they
nobody's
needed
talking
from
about
this
how
show,
many
and they
empty
covered.
seats were there for the first hour of the show. They're
No,
talking about
yeah,
how exciting the show was. It was weird the way
yeah,
that place was set up.
yeah.
Bob, quickly before we get to Bash at Berlin, let's talk about Dynamite for 5 minutes here. What are the three biggest things that happened on this show that moved things forward? Let's first talk about Mr. Bryan Danielson himself. Came out at the end of the show, gave a promo. I'm not retiring. I'm not effing leaving. And here's the thing: Jungle Boy Jack Perry came out to be his combatant at All Out. I thought that was very well done. You can talk about his promo in a second, but for me, the thing that stood out is Bryan Danielson clearly said, as soon as I lose this belt, that's my last match. Or that's, essentially I'm ending as a full-time wrestler.
Yeah,
And to
yeah.
me, that adds a story to every single challenger he has. Is Jack Perry going to beat him for the belt? No. No, he's not.
No,
But
no, no. Of course not.
but add on to the fact that if Bryan loses, it's his last match ever, then
Yeah,
like that interests me even more in the feud. Like, because there's technically a chance Jack Perry, you know what I mean? Like, it just sells it a little bit more, puts more stakes on all of this. So I
yeah.
love that.
Well, it's also a good thing for ticket sales. If
Yeah.
you could be like, am I seeing Bryan Danielson's last match tonight? You don't know.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
thing. Like that's a great thing. To advertise the hell out of that because the crowd tonight at Dynamite was not big after All In. I noticed that they sucked. They were not making enough noise. But also, you talked about Bryan Danielson's like storytelling. He convinced me during this promo tonight that he was going to retire again. I was like, is this kind of like after he won the title? It was like, my God, he's walking away, and I thought he was going to drop the title in the ring for a second, and like as you started crying during the promo, I was like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, but Jack Perry's promo too, like just wasn't focused on like we got a little character. He's just the future of AEW and my future like is synonymous. Just him bragging, him just being not referencing the ghost of CM Punk. I just want that to die because nothing good comes out of it ever. It really doesn't. Whenever Tony Khan said it after in the press conference, nothing good comes out of that situation. Just let it go. And I thought his promo tonight was great. He can talk. I didn't know that. He can talk. So
Well,
give him more promos. He's
he's
better than Hook.
getting
He's a
better.
lot better than Hook. He's a lot better than Hook. I'll give him like
Jesus.
that. He's anybody is actually, but yeah, I really was impressed by Jack Perry's promo tonight. And he's not winning against Bryan Danielson, but it's an entertaining match.
Yeah.
It's. I can't believe they have a pay per view in 2 weeks. They got to think about that again. What other two topics that we want to talk about on Dynamite here?
I thought the best promo of the night, and maybe this is because I gotta say, I don't like talking about this or wrestling in this capacity because people are more than this. But Jesus Christ, was I never more turned on than Mariah May tonight. I thought she came out and took
Yeah,
over that stage in the 5 seconds that she had out there. Said very funny lines of it's called champagne, but this is like piss drunk beer or whatever. Like
yeah,
I'm not having a celebration in this town. Perfect heel stuff. But then for her to like, if that's going to be her new gimmick, like I'm going to disrobe now and show you what a champion looks like, and then she looks like that. Hey, buddy, I'll be tuning in, man. I
yeah,
thought that was great for her, and she's wearing the belt like a champion. Okay, so I
yeah.
thought Mariah May. I'm excited to see who's going to be her next opponent. I would, I like Tony Storm. I would like to be something different. I want to see what's next from
Yeah.
Mariah May.
Yeah, it's going to be different. It can't be Tony Storm right away again, maybe down the line. But Tony Storm, she walked away on All In. It looks like she's going to be losing her mind. I'm excited to see what the future of Tony Storm is. But Mariah May is great. This rivalry made her. She's a star.
Yes.
I had no idea who she was like a
Yeah.
year ago. I had never heard of her. And now I'm all in. She's great. And this was a great promo tonight. I agree. What
Yeah.
else was the one more topic from Dynamite?
I think the third biggest thing to talk about here is I mean, we're getting Hangman and Swerve. We don't know exactly
Yeah.
what the stipulation is. Swerve wants to have a cage in there. Hangman didn't necessarily agree to it. Hangman comes out, has a 7-hour long match with Ishii, and they're just headbutting and beating the crap out of it. There were 3 times
Oh,
where I thought one of them was genuinely hurt. They went crazy. Hangman's a great wrestler, man. He's a great brawler. He's a great old school brawler, and I can't wait to see the next iteration of Swerve versus Hangman. I guess we're trying to make the way the storytelling went. It seems like we're making Hangman a babyface for this. Talking about the kids,
yeah.
talking about what happened. Swerve went over the line. Even the announcers are like, "We've never seen something that evil before out of Swerve." So they're really harping on that what happened way back when. And
Yeah.
Swerve, I thought, was excellent, absolutely excellent in how sinister he was on the microphone. These two. Here's the thing. I am not happy that we're burning it next week, because these are guys that I do think if you gave them a month of this, granted, it's been 7 years, it seems, they've been at each other's throats, but we haven't
Yeah.
had them face off head to head. No belt involved, no other wrestlers involved. No. It's these two going at it head to head in some time. So I would kind of like to see a few more weeks of this building up, but maybe we've built it up enough. Either way, we're getting it in at All Out, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I am too. This is I enjoyed this promo a lot. We're gonna give it the promo of the week. Screw that. We'll just talk about it here, I guess, or
Oh,
we'll
it's
give
my
it the
fault.
promo of the week. No, the return. The other big moment is John Moxley too. We could talk about that. We got to talk about Moxley too. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, this is great, and I agree with you. They could use a few more weeks to build, but maybe there's going to be a series of matches between these guys. I like kind of like Drew
They've
McIntyre
had
versus
them.
Punk. Well, do it again. Do it again. I'm in. Do it again. Do 3
Do
more. I
the
want to
old,
see these
who's
guys.
that? Sheamus and Cesaro, best of 7?
Yeah, drag it out to World's End. Have Swerve Strickland versus Hangman at World's End, just some kind of ridiculous stipulation match. But yeah, this is a great segment. I just don't understand when Swerve turned heel. Like it just happened. Like it's just one day. It's like, he's a heel against Danielson now. And Hangman Page can't be. He's attacking Evil Uno with chairs. He can't be a babyface, but I guess he is. That's what they got to iron out in AEW. That's the main thing. But overall, I'm excited to see it. I think it's going to be a steel cage at All Out. And then we get Danielson, Jack Perry. I'm in. I'll be buying another $50 down the drain. Another $50 down the drain for professional wrestling. God
That's
damn!
enough
Get
about
on
AEW,
HBO Max.
though. We will
HBO
preview
Max.
we will preview that show next week. God, I hope it's on HBO Max. We will preview that show next week. Let's talk about the premium live event for the biggest company in wrestling. That's WWE, happening this weekend in Berlin. No idea what time this kicks off. It won't be a time that's
1
normal,
p.m.
but 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m.
on
Pacific.
Saturday. Yeah.
Perfect time. Saturday morning
Yeah.
cartoons and then a pay-per-view. Perfect time for a premium live event. Bob, we have 5 matches on this card. It's a house show, glorified house show, I like to call these. And the first one is for the much disputed WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. I know you're wondering what's going to happen in this match. These vaunted titles that have so much meaning and power. I learned today that the Unholy Union are still the champion, and they are defending against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Bob, we don't pay anything for these premium live events. They're part of a subscription, so we're not going to do that game where we give a money value to each of these. I'll just tell you, buy or sell this match.
Sell. Easiest sell of my lifetime. Easiest. Jade Cargill in WWE has been just a wholesale sell for me since last October. I don't know what the hell they're doing with her. And maybe AEW just maybe it was right to let her go, because what the hell is going on with Jade Cargill, man? Like, they've done nothing with her. As like, she has a big entrance and then she sucks in the ring. She's not good still.
You knew that in AEW. That's also
but I thought she would get training and a little better. They rushed her like you were just gonna say. They rushed her to the main roster because she looks great and she's 32. Well, fucking send her to NXT or something. If you got it, this is what you got for her. This match sucks. They bought this. Who gives a shit about this match? I'm sorry. I just Jade Cargill. I thought was going to be a huge star. We're a year into this now. I think Unholy Union's going to win, and then Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are going to feud. That's my prediction too. We'll do predictions real quick.
Oh, I think Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are for sure going to win this match, and
they're not favored.
They're going to run another. They're going to have another reign with these tag team belts.
I think that they're going to lose.
Triple H books tag, like how much time out of 24-hour day do you think Triple H spends booking the tag team division?
We're talking about it more right now than he spends time on it. So let's move
Okay.
on.
Next
Yes.
match. This is for a very fun championship, the World Heavyweight Championship. It is Gunther, the champion, and I believe his first title defense, but it's against Randy Orton.
Yeah,
Excellent match on paper. I'm buying this match just because of the
absolutely.
quality of these two wrestlers. I
Yeah.
hope Gunther retains. I think he will.
Yeah, they can't take the title off of Gunther. This is Orton, veteran. He doesn't need a title reign. He's just doing business, doing good business, putting the guy over that they're trying to make, and that's what's going to happen here. Gunther is going to win this match clean. Built-in storyline with the controversial finish of King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Orton's shoulders weren't down. So I'm fine with it. This is a great main event. I'm assuming this will close the show because it's in Germany and
Oh,
Gunther. So I'm
I didn't even
guessing,
think about that.
yeah, he's
I was
retaining,
building.
and
I was trying to go through these matches as I would book the show, but I think you might
yeah,
be right there. But the WWE Championship is the next on my card. Cody Rhodes,
okay,
obviously the champion, versus Kevin Owens because he wanted to give him a shot. Good old buddy
yeah,
gets a shot at the belt. I'm selling this build, but buying this match. These two are excellent. Kevin Owens, rumor has it, maybe on the end of his contract here, but Cody Rhodes retains.
yeah. When Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I think 3 years ago, their contracts were rumored to be up. I was like praying for them to go to AEW because
Me
they're
too.
still completely invested in AEW at that time, and I think Kevin Owens would be great in AEW, but I think he's probably going to resign and stay with WWE and finish out his career. That's what I would do if I were him at this age. I would, but we'll see. But he's not
Yeah,
winning
make
this
that
match.
money.
I'm selling the build like you said, but I'm buying this match, and I'm buying a Kevin Owens heel turn, decimate Cody Rhodes after this match through tables, just kill him. That's what I
Oh, we're
want to
going to
see. I
extend
want
the
to see,
feud.
yeah, or just anything to get Kevin Owens heel again. He's so much better as a heel.
Yeah,
Same with Swerve Strickland and AEW. There's certain guys that are just, you can
they're
have a
better as a heel.
babyface run here and there. They're just destined to be heels.
That's
But yeah,
another reason why I had the unholy union losing, because we maybe have at least one title changing hands on this, and it's the useless women's tag team belts. The next
yeah,
match, however, is a
you're
tag
probably
team that
right.
I care very much about. It is the mixed tag match. This is
Yeah,
the ultimate house show main event. I think it should main event this. As you said, though, we're in Germany. We might main event with Gunther there. It is Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio versus Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. Bob, obviously, we're buying the build to this. We're buying the
yeah,
match. We've been buying the storyline since its inception here. We got the debut, the song of the new Judgment Day walking out all together for the first time,
yeah.
arm in arm, buddy, buddy. The Terror Twins or whatever they're calling Damian Priest and Rhea
Terror Twins.
Ripley on the other side. Here's the thing that I want to know. Is this the button on the Rhea Ripley Dominic Mysterio feud? Or I should say Rhea Ripley Liv Morgan, but you know what I mean. Like, eventually, these guys need to move on and do different things. Is this the
Oh, I
end of
see.
all of that?
I don't think so. I think Rhea Ripley, and I think Ripley's going to win the title from Morgan in sometime soon. That would be my guess, but we'll see. It could be. I don't know how long you want to keep the Women's World Championship on Liv Morgan, other
Yeah,
than like against Rhea Ripley. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like this is like the biggest feud she's going to have as champion. So I think they'll extend it. And I think, like I said last week, Rhea Ripley's pinning Dominic
I like that.
Mysterio in this
Yeah,
match. I think that's going to be great. But I just think it's going to be hilarious because Dominic Mysterio could lose 100 matches in a row and he'd still be a big star. Like he's Teflon. He's entering the IC title tournament. It's just going to be great. But I'm really looking forward to this match. This is, even with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, which we'll talk about next. Like this, I'm looking forward to this match the most, just because how goofy it's going to
with
be.
Rhea Ripley pinning Dom, I like that angle so much. I'm
Yeah.
not even going to try to predict another way for this to finish. Do you think also on the opposite of that? Do you think Liv Morgan at any point tries to seduce Damian Priest?
Yeah, something's gonna happen. They're not Liv Morgan, maybe not in this match, but I see what you're saying. But down the line, Liv Morgan and Dominic aren't. There's something terrible is gonna happen to ruin that relationship. I can't wait. Like I just can't wait to see where it goes. But
All right.
I would love to see Rhea Ripley like power bomb Dominic Mysterio and like pin him like how she pins the women, like with the legs spread. It's just ridiculous. That's the visual I want. But we'll see what happens. Go the main event in your eyes.
Last match of the night. This is the match that I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it the most, but I am hoping that this is the end of the feud. It is a strap match between CM
It's
Punk
not
and
going
Drew
to be.
McIntyre. He said it's
Not
not
the
going
end
to
of
be
the
the end of
feud.
the feud.
Bad Blood in October, Hell in a Cell. That's been rumored. So this is CM Punk's going to win this one. I'm buying it. He's going to win this one to tie him up at 1-1, and then we're going to have a Hell in a Cell in October.
Okay.
And I'm guessing CM Punk after this match won't wrestle again until October. But yeah, this is I enjoy this feud. I'm a little bored with the bracelet angle, like with the I don't
I'm
care
bored
about
with
the
all of
bracelet.
it.
Really?
I'm bored with
I mean,
all of it.
we were
And
talking about
you
this,
know,
like
you,
giving
I
Drew
mean,
McIntyre a social superstar for months on end because of his rivalry with Punk. But
yeah, that was back when they didn't have a match. We had the match. And again, that's not the burn off. That's not the end of it. We wanted to keep going with it. We wanted the Seth Rollins tie in, and now CM Punk has a reason to keep fighting and all. I mean, I get that. It's wrestling. We move, we turn, always the page is turning. I understand the reference. I just want these
highest rated
guys to have
segment of
different dance partners. They've been at each other's throats since January.
yeah, that is legit. But I mean, to me, that's like all the more reason that it should be a great match. I just think they've kind of dropped the ball with the bracelet thing. Like, it's just way too much about this bracelet that it should just be these guys want to kill each other. That's the end of the story, really. Doesn't
Do
have
we
to be,
get,
give me my bracelet back. I'm
is
going to give it a
AJ Lee
bye.
flying to Berlin?
No. CM Punk's winning this match clean somehow or choking out McIntyre. I don't know. The strap match, they have to touch the four corners is a stupid, like, they
Wait,
have to.
that's the
That's
strap match?
Yeah, they have to like beat the guy
I
down
thought the
so much.
strap match was they were just, tied to each other. Is that the bull rope match? What's the match where they're just like, because they've had that in AEW where they're tied. Oh, dog collar match. They're just tied to each other. So
that was
I remember
Punk
that
and
the four
MJF.
corners
Yeah.
match, Cena versus Rusev, and it was like
Yeah. Well, that
America
was a
versus
flag.
Russia.
That was the worst match of all time. Yeah, I remember that was a terrible. But this match will be better than that. I
We
think
have to do
that
the
the rule.
four-corner gimmick in Berlin.
I think the rule is the strap match. They have to. Oh, I could be wrong.
Well,
I don't know
no
what
in
I'm
our
talking about.
luck. We're not exactly
Yeah,
up on the rules of these matches, but hey,
yeah.
that's the
But
match. You have CM Punk winning. I'll go Drew McIntyre, even though you're probably correct. Are you buying or selling this pay-per-view as a whole?
I'm buying it. I know it's a house show, a glorified house show. Probably won't be any title changes or the women's tag team championship, but just some of these matches. Punk versus McIntyre, I'm still into it. I'm gonna be into Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes once the bell rings, and I'm gonna be damn sure into that mixed tag team match. That's like the match I'm looking forward to the most of the past few months. So
No, that's
yeah,
what
I'm
buying this pay-per-view just for that match as well. Because it's also free. If this had a cost attached to it, I'd probably read Robert Lentini's recaps on Sportskeeda and then watch the highlights. But that is it for Bash at Berlin. Let's move on to the gimmicks, close out this show. This is stuff that happened in the world of wrestling that didn't exactly big enough to make the card that we're talking about. We had Return of the Week, and that is Jonathan Moxley, my friend.
Yeah. He opened the show pretty much. He had a really interesting line. He had a goatee with all new look for John Moxley. He looked great. Weird that he missed all. Yeah, weird that I didn't hear the song. I missed the song. What was the song?
Couldn't tell you.
Anything's better than.
Can we speak about songs for a second? That
Anything's better than
Ricochet
Wild
song
Thing.
is awful.
I didn't. Yeah, I mean, most entrance themes are most wrestling entrance themes are awful. But I'll listen to Ricochet's.
But
Generic.
It's Ricochet. Like, this is a huge running for you guys. I understand you might not want to pay the money to have a licensed song anymore, but this is like a beat you could buy from a dude on SoundCloud. It didn't make any sense. Keep going with what you're saying about Moxley.
Yeah, he had the return promo. He had a line that this isn't your company anymore. Just an ominous line to Tony Schiavone and walked away. Then later in the night, we got him with Marina Shafir. Apparently they were a heel duo now. Apparently, I don't know if he's still in the Blackpool Combat Club or a lot of unanswered questions tonight. But I'm glad Moxley's back. He looks better than he has in a while. And I've been ready for the Blackpool Combat Club to end for years.
I thought that was going to happen with him coming back. I thought that why he opened the show was him going after Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, maybe we'll get that eventually.
We've already done a few of these, so I'm going to skip over the ones we already talked about on the show, but I will give a special pop of the week to Mr. Nigel McGuinness because that man deserves it. An utter surprise that he was in this match, and I thought he looked excellent and did excellent. I hope he wrestles as much or as little as he wants to in the future. This was an excellent moment for him.
Yeah, I agree. That was just an insane reaction. Everybody popped. Everybody was on their feet. He looked great, as you said, and I hope he wrestles. I don't know what's going on, but what I will say, he was on commentary for some of these matches on the show too, and he was great. I want him on Dynamite on commentary.
Yeah.
Some of his quips, it was making me laugh. He's great. So if he's not like, get him off a Collision on Dynamite when he wants to do commentary full time again. Please.
Jobber of the week goes to Private Party, who was at the Mercedes Moné celebration of her victory. Okada was there. They were dancing. It was very funny. Okada's always very funny. But Private Party comes up, has about 3 lines of dialogue before they just get called a bitch and walk away. That was it. That was all it took, is Mercedes Moné calling them sayonara bitches. And that was the end of Private Party. Glad to see that their flame is still as bright as it ever was.
The Private Party is one of the teams I thought were going to be a huge stars when this company first launched. Mark Quem, like, they're incredibly athletic, just absolutely nothing in this. I don't understand what they're doing with Private Party, but yeah, great choice.
I always knew they weren't going to make it, because one of the guys, when he gets thrown up in the air, he screams really high pitched to get a cheap pop.
Cassidy. Isaiah Cassidy.
I don't understand how someone didn't pull him aside and say, "Hey kid, this ain't the Indies anymore." Like, it's an awful pop. Last thing, hat off here. Social superstar of the week. This guy on social media singing Triple H's music. Bob, please put this video in now.
Time to play the game.
You don't got to put the whole thing. That's all you need to hear.
Yeah.
It was spectacular. Go search this guy out. Couldn't tell you what his name is on social media.
I'll put his handle up.
A+, sir. It is all about the game.
It was just completely wrong. I couldn't believe. I watched it about 50 times in a row. I was laughing. I'm just full of disclosure. Oh, I didn't see the full rendition. I saw just the time to play the game. Like, I can't even sing how like an opera singer the way he sang it. It's like, dude, this is Motorhead. You're way off.
It's perfect. I thought he did an excellent job, man. Listen, when you cover a song, you got to put your own twang on it, and that man put some twang on it. But that is it.
Jesus Christ.
For the Ridiculously Lame Wrestling Show. That is not it. We have to do headlines really fast, Bob. What's the headline for next week in WWE?
Triple H finally figured out how to make Bronson Reed a star. All he had to do was jump off a wall onto a car onto Braun Strowman. Was going to do the Mankind Spot of the Week for that, but we'll just do it here. That's a headline. It doesn't sound like a headline, but moving on. Tony, what's your headline?
Week for AEW, Mariah May wears red. And that is it for the Ridiculously Lame Wrestling Show. But now we have to check in this week in Ryback.